unimaginable. Their commitment reflects the very best of our community: compassion, resilience, and a deep sense of service. I encourage all Canadians to support Cops for Cancer and to help ensure that no child faces cancer alone.
Oral questions, questions orales. The honourable member for Long Range Mountain.
Canadians are broke, they're lining up at food banks, and our streets are more dangerous than ever. Yet this Liberal government has spent over $742 million on a failed gun grab, while in Newfoundland and Labrador, hard-working Canadians are choosing between gas for their trucks and heat for their homes. This Prime Minister is wasting nearly $25,000 per gun to target law-abiding hunters. It's more costs, more corruption, and more Liberal waste. So when will this Liberal Prime Minister cut the waste and cut the gas taxes so Canadians can afford to live?
Hear, hear. The Honourable Government House Leader.
Well, Mr. Speaker, of course, we've cut the gas tax by 28 cents, but this member from Newfoundland and Labrador gets up, and maybe we'll ask her, because we haven't really had success of late getting that list of things that they consider to be inflationary spending on that table. We have no idea what the Conservatives consider to be inflationary spending. Is it the child benefit? Is it employment insurance? Is it small craft harbors? Mr. Speaker, Newfoundlanders and Labradorians want to know.
The honourable member for Long Range Mountain.
Well, Mr. Speaker, to start, Conservatives would cut $20 billion in consultants. The failed gun grab is another example of the $1 trillion of spending by this costly Liberal government. The Prime Minister is more interested in $524,000 being spent on food for his private jet rather than making life more affordable for hardworking Canadians who actually pay the bills. More costs, more cover-up, more Liberal waste. This Prime Minister is just another costly Liberal. So when will this Liberal Prime Minister remove all the taxes on all the gases for all the year so Canadians can get real relief?
The Honourable Secretary of State for Financial Institutions.
Mr. Speaker, we're going to continue to focus on this side on affordability. We just launched a groceries and essentials benefit that will put up to $1,900 in the pockets of hardworking families. We just cut the excise tax, that's 10 cents. You combine that with the carbon tax cut, that's 28 cents. The spring economic update continued to confirm our economy is strong and growing. Mr. Speaker, on this side of the House, we're laser focused on building a strong economy. That side can continue with the rhetoric and the riddles. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
The honourable member for York Durham.
For weeks now, the Liberals have blamed external events for homegrown problems. Higher gasoline, blame Iran. Higher diesel, blame Iran. But yesterday, the CEO of Cenovus said it wasn't external events, but Liberal policies that were making resource development and investment in Canada uncompetitive. He said the industrial carbon tax incents industry to invest outside Canada. So Liberal policies equal higher costs and more debt for Canadians and fleeing investors. So will the Minister of Energy instead give Canadians a break, cut all the gas taxes for the entire year?
The Honourable Minister of Energy and Natural Resources.
Maybe he should read about what the CEO of Shell said. The CEO of Shell said Canada is the best place in the world to invest, and he just put $20 billion behind that statement, Mr. Speaker. And the CEO of Enbridge put $4 billion behind his statement. So maybe they should look a little harder in the paper, Mr. Speaker.
The honourable member for York Durham.
Mr. Speaker, CBC is reporting that the Liberals will change the rules for resource development and pipeline approvals to allegedly try and speed them up. But forgive me, we've been here before. Last year they promised big projects at speeds never seen before. If the minister was right, we'd have projects coming out of everywhere. But in that year, no project has been approved in the national interest. Nothing has been fast-tracked. Not one anti-development resource law or tax has been removed. It's beginning to feel a little bit like Alice in Wonderland, where the rule is pipeline tomorrow, pipeline yesterday, but never a pipeline today. So if that's not the case, will he tell us when the next pipeline will be approved?
The Honourable Minister of Energy.
Speaker, if he took the cotton out of his ears, he would have heard there was a pipeline being built from Taylor to Gordondale. He would have heard there was an expansion of the largest pipeline system in British Columbia. He would have heard there was $8 billion just being spent in Goose Bay. He would have heard there was $500 million being spent on a new wood farm in Nova Scotia. He would have heard about the new transmission line between Nova Scotia and New Brunswick. I could keep going, Mr. Speaker. They should listen a little more carefully.
The Honourable Member for Montmorency-Charlevoix. After 11 years running Canada, the Liberals will have us believe that it's normal that the deficit is over $60 billion a year. While the Liberals squander billions, Quebecers are having to pinch every penny. A new Fraser Institute study has shown that Canada is going through a youth unemployment crisis. In 2022, youth unemployment was about 12%. It has climbed to 19%, something never seen outside a recession. When will this very Liberal Prime Minister finally start focusing on our youth's future when he makes decisions? The Honourable Minister of Government Transformation. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I heard that question, and I certainly hope that the member across the way will support our spring economic statement, which will invest $6 billion over 5 years to train young people so that they can have job opportunities in fields like construction. We know there will be a great need for construction. Why? Because this government believes in building major projects, building the future of our country, and ensuring our economy is the strongest in the G7. The Honourable Member for Montmorency-Charlevoix. Let's talk about major projects. The Major Projects Office has already spent $41 million. They have not announced a single major project. Properties are losing value. There's no retail jobs. There's no jobs in food and dining. All the government has created are new taxes and new red tape. The government wants young people to make sacrifices, but they say affordability has never been so good. When will the Prime Minister stop running up charges on the national credit card and start making sure our youth have a future to look forward to? The Honourable Government House Leader. Mr. Speaker, my colleague has just noted all we are doing to invest in training so that our youth can enter the skilled trades where they will find well-paying jobs. Meanwhile, Conservatives, including that member, are opposed to us getting major projects done. They are opposed to the Alto high-speed rail project, which will create 51,000 jobs in Quebec. They are against the $18 million of planes sold by that were manufactured in Quebec. They are opposed to all that we are doing to help the economy. The Honourable Member for Saint-Jean. Mr. Speaker, today we learned that the Liberals have decided to speed up pipeline construction by cutting regulations. I guess there's too many rules. Why combat greenhouse gas emissions and ensure social acceptability when there's oil in the ground and money to be found? Regulations be damned. Conservatives are being edged out as the party that loves oil and gas the most. Soon, Liberals will be wearing I love oil and gas buttons on their lapels. Is there a single Liberal left who actually cares about the environment? And if so, what the heck are they still doing in that party? The Honourable Minister of the Environment and Climate Change. Mr. Speaker, I have said this once, I'll say it again. Our government is committed to continuing the fight against climate change and protecting the environment. We have a nature protection strategy which will invest heavily in the future of our country. We put in place methane regulations. This is something that people are looking at in other countries and saying, wow, Canada is showing leadership. We are doing our job, and I hope that the Bloc Québécois will join us. The Honourable Member for Saint-Jean. Mr. Speaker, I'm sure there are Conservatives just itching to cross the floor to the other side of the House. This Prime Minister is promoting the monarchy and the tar sands. Gosh, Conservatives must really recognize themselves in this Prime Minister. We get it. The Liberals believe that the future of Canada should be built on dirty 19th century fossil fuels. Sure, we know what we're up against, but I have a simple question. What are Liberals who still believe in climate change waiting for to leave that party? The Honourable Minister. So, I would assure the entire House that this government is